1 hour of the show. I am Sheriff Quadry. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube. And this is the big moments, the big hard facts on the show. We start at 3 p.m. We call this part of the show the big hard facts. This is where we have, that very important conversation. So let me know what you think about what we're about to have right now. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So please drop your thoughts, drop your comments on the live stream comment section. So an investigation some time ago showed that in 2 years since the current government has been in power, at least 10,217 people have been killed in attacks by gunmen in Benue, Edo, Katsina, Kebbi, Plateau, Sokoto, and Zamfara states. Benue State accounts for the highest death toll of about 6,896 out of the 10,000, followed by Plateau. Plateau has a share of 2,630 in the number of people killed. In the 2 years since President Bola Tinubu's government assumed power, new armed groups have emerged, including Lakurawa in Sokoto and Kebbi State, the Mahmuda in Kwara, while hundreds of villages have been sacked by gunmen in Benue, Borno, Katsina, Sokoto, Plateau, and Zamfara. Now, I'm going to break a few things down. Please come along, follow me. I have a guest who is already seated and waiting. Just follow me. We want to focus on Benue. We want to talk about the massacre in Benue. Between January 2023 and February 2024, there was a report by Amnesty International. They said 2,600 people, mainly women and children, were killed across 50 rural communities in 18 of Benue's 23 local government areas during this 14-month period. Between January 2024 and February 2024 alone, within just 2 months, at least 540 people were killed and 149 injured, causing the displacement of more than 12,000 people from 2,105 households. Lagos, please come with me. The entire year of 2023, there were about 119 attacks recorded by the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi in Benue State. These attacks resulted in over 400 deaths, with an additional over 100 people wounded, or raped, or even kidnapped. A national data showed 482 killings in Benue by non-state actors in 2023, one of the highest state totals in the country. Between May and June this year, listen to this set of numbers. These are hard facts. May 25, 2025, gunmen killed 30 people in Aldona, Gua West local government area of Benue. June 3, 2025, simultaneous attacks in Gua West and Apa LGAs left at least 20 people dead, though local sources suggested that the toll could exceed 30 at the time. The latest one, 2 days ago, June 14, over 200 were killed, many burnt alive in Yelewata, in Guma local government area. Again, in case you still don't have better perspective of what I am talking about, schools have been destroyed, churches, mosques. There's a pattern, and this pattern has revealed a persistent and intensifying cycle of violence. And in this cycle of violence, there is one constant denominator: the armed Fulani herdsmen and non-state armed groups. Thousands of lives lost in just 2 years, hundreds injured, raped, or kidnapped, massive displacement. Data collectors have put this number of displacements to about 2 million people since 2023. Education, agriculture. I mean, we know Benue as a food basket of the country, right? But you must know that we have about 55 or more schools destroyed. Markets have been closed. Farmers have abandoned their farmlands. At this point, I'm going to bring in an intelligence expert, retired Captain Babangida Aliyu. Captain Blade joins me virtually this evening. Captain Blade, good evening to you and thank you for joining. Captain Blade, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you from... Okay, sorry, I can hear you now. 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 Fantastic. I can hear you now.
Okay, the network is somewhat woozy. Hear you too.
All right. Let's start from here. Can you give us a brief overview of the current situation in Benue regarding the killings, the displacement, the cycle of violence there? What is your understanding of the situation, Captain Blade?
The situation is unfortunate. As we speak, there is an atmosphere of gloom, if not even doom, hanging over there. And it's a bit puzzling because I have had the privilege of being involved in what I could call profiling solutions to the situation at hand. I was privileged to have been a resource person pre-inauguration of the present governor when he formed a committee on security which contained a lot of brass hats. And these brass hats, one of them assigned me to raise a paper which was presented to His Excellency on the way forward on the challenges, and which I did. I spent hours to do that. And having done that, post-inauguration, I have had access to the Special Advisor Security, Joseph Hart. We have sat and spoken about security. I have been on 2 or 3 radio programs in Benue State.
In Benue, okay.
Talking about security.
Okay.
Yes, in Benue. I've been in Makurdi. So the situation at hand is not something I'll be talking about from my home. I was in Makurdi live. And the challenge we have is seemingly worrisome because Benue is not an exception of places where the solutions profiled seem to develop some kind of, or seem to confer some kind of cold feet on the receptors. The people we profile these solutions for somehow become willy-nilly when they read into the solutions. I spoke once in your media house about the solutions to the problem at hand cheap, and I mean it. They are so cheap, they are nothing anywhere compared to the losses we incur. But somehow, people who read into these solutions suddenly become cold-footed or pussy-footed. And do I say complacent? So we are seeing a situation in Benue that is not different from what has been prevalent in Benue. Permit me to take you back.
Okay.
Once upon a time in Benue, it was the Agatu. Once upon a time in Benue State, it was the Agatus. I sat with a very prominent member of President Jonathan's cabinet, and over dinner, I presented a solution which we have just modified today. And the same thing, cold feet. So something tells me that there is more to the Benue situation than our leaders are willing to say. Then time alone will unravel what exactly that is.
Captain Blade, I'm glad that you said there is more to it. There's this possibility of something that, maybe they can't explain, they can't talk about publicly. But do you by any chance know what this could be? Do you by any chance know whether, there are some... if we know the root causes of these killings didn't start 5-10 years ago. These killings have been happening for a very long time. And still, within that long time, we haven't been able to put a stop to it. Successive governments have failed to put a stop to it. Do we know the root cause or the root causes? Captain Blade, is there an information in your circle as to how all of this started? What started it? Or we are just chasing shadows, we don't know what is going on?
Sheriff, if we were to go into information that informs what you are seeing today, then I'll be taking you back in time to 1952. Unfortunately, my colleagues, the brassers, the security brassers, have what I want to call an apprehensive antagonist tendency to shut down anything that is not coming from themselves. Put another way, if we don't know it, then it doesn't exist. But trust me, it all started way back in 1952. I'll send you a document after this program. It's titled Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's a document that was declassified from the deep state operations of the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America.
Okay.
And if you read that and you are conversant with some other happenings from 52 to date, then you will understand exactly what is happening and the reason why our leaders are pussyfooting. You see, if you have a situation where your leadership has investments in countries that have vested interests in what happens in Nigeria, then they have no option but to pussyfoot certain things as they affect Nigeria. So here's the situation now. The situation now is simple. Certain foreign interests are involved, and just as is usual within the intelligence community internationally now, these vested foreign interests will use what they have to get what they want, including funding non-state actors like bandits, terrorists, and headsmen to bring about the situation or the status quos that will affect that which they have in mind.
Foreign interest to what effect? What is the interest of these foreign people, these disruptors? What do you suppose will be their interest in Benue in particular?
Benue particularly is a food basket. And for me, what my indicators in my own wayside observatory, I call it that, are pointing at is a deliberate attempt to ensure they break that capacity of Benue to produce a certain capacity or ability of localized food items so that we can all be swayed towards nanotechnologies, genetically modified options. And the moment we do that, we are going to see what you call agri-colonialism. You're going to get GMO seeds that cannot reproduce. And you have to request for those seeds from those who have the patent rights And once they do that, food itself will become a weapon for control. So knowing that somehow, somewhere, some way, we here in this part of the world, we emphasize quantity over quality. They tend to give us more with genetically modified food options. But then, what is coming with it is what we tend not to see or want to ignore. People can argue for or against what I'm saying, but then it's a function of time before it dawns on us. But I assure you, the same way you build vehicles with specs, you can also build grains with specs. And when you start collecting these grains, the grains will come to you with their specs. And these specs could be anything, because nanotechnology and what you can call genetic engineering can confer on your nutrition options those qualities or traits they want to see in your population. I can share so many past projects that were conducted by the Central Intelligence Agency and have been declassified to prove to you what I'm saying. Unfortunately, my colleagues in the intelligence communities tend to be busier securing mandates and tenures than looking into these very core aspects of warfare, as I told you, which is silent weapons or quiet wars. I'll avail you that document, so you're going to be wow.
Captain Blade, Captain Blade,
away
I'm not going to dispute what you have said, but I do also know that we've heard reports of communal clashes in Gwa East, for instance, of Benue State, two communities clashing, and then people's lives were wasted, in such communal clashes. And it wasn't the first time the two communities will be clashing. I've also heard the same way you're postulating that it could be, economic sabotage, in the sense that people want to sell us GMO foods and all of that. I've also heard the claim of ethnic cleansing, that some Fulani herdsmen were promised that the Middle Belt is their ancestral home, and then they are like occupying, force in that place, that they would, go and clean up a village, kill everybody there, then occupy the village. Have you, what do you say to that? That this is no agricultural or something warfare. It's purely ethnic cleansing going on at the rate of massacre that we're witnessing in Benue. What do you say to that, Captain Blade?
I'll respond by putting it to you this way. Next time you pass by a river or a pond, throw a stone down it. Just throw a stone into it. Can you count the ripples? No. If you throw a stone into a body of water, you're going to see endless ripple effects. Now that's what you're seeing happening. People will exploit ripple effects. The moment there is a situation in a location, you're going to see, it's like carrion. The moment there's carrion, you see vultures hovering overhead, and each one is there to make a killing. There's the situation. What is happening in Benue is opportunity for the arms seller to sell arms. It's opportunity for the nanotechnologists to propound what his postulations and experiments. It's also opportunity for those who have security solutions like me to come out and say, this is what you should be looking at. So there are ripple effects. And even the touts and the miscreants will also exploit. I have had to assist in the evacuation of an entire family compound somewhere in a village called Itulu in Benue State, just because the youths were plundering and looting as a result of people fleeing their homes because of the herdsmen attacks. So there are what you call collateral effects, if you like, or you call it collateral damage, if you like, or you could also call it remote or ripple effect, if you like. Just as I said, throw a stone in a body of water and try to count the ripples, because they are endless.
I want to also talk to you about, we need to go off on a break very quickly, but please note this question down, Captain Blade. We've been having killings, not just in Benue, in many parts of the country, and people have been calling on the security apparatus that we have in the country, especially their failure to protect lives and property. And I'd like to know what you would say about how we value life in Lagos. I said something at the beginning. People are becoming desensitized to people being killed, Nigerians being killed these days. When you mention numbers of people that are being killed, people just hear numbers. They forget about there are lives of people that are involved, that are actual people, actual souls, being taken, forcefully, from this planet. My question is, what does all of these killings, what do they say about the value that the government places on the life of a Nigerian? Please hold on to that question. We'll be right back. Lagos, stay here.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as ValueCard, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
Hey ladies, do you know Nigerian women are celebrated for their radiant glowing skin? That's right. But with a hot sun, protecting our skin can be a challenge. Good news! Perfectio by Vitabiotics UK gives you targeted support for great-looking skin, hair, and nails. Packed with biomarine collagen, botanical extracts, and other micronutrients which contribute to skin hydration and radiance while reducing other skin imperfections. Available in pharmacies near you. Perfectil, beauty from within.
Okay, so this is your total. Do you need anything else?
Yeah, I would like to pay for the person at the back. In fact, add one pack of Malta Guinness.
Guy, I won't give you my number. Why are you paying for me?
I just feel like doing good. I don't need a reason to share goodness.
Goodness is not just an expression, it's a way of life. So share the goodness with someone today.
Bro, one for me too, Abby.
Yes, so one cold Malta Guinness for you too.
Malta Guinness. Enjoy a world of good.
I don't know, man. These days, all you hear is save, invest, save, invest. Wait, how do you guys find this money? Is it not someone that is settled that will have money to save and invest? And even if I manage to invest or save, the interest rates are so low. And one can lose money in all these crypto, NFT, blockchain, and so on.
Introducing Fund 724. It's a simple solution to all your money goals. With as low as 1,000 naira or that urgent 2k in your pocket, you can start saving with Fund 724 and earn solid returns on your investment. And you can withdraw your money from your account for free. Anytime you like, just dial *724# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts.
Oh, so no need to download an app or join a long queue, huh?
Dial *724# now to get started. Fund 724 is available 24/7. Guarantee Trust Fund Managers is a subsidiary of Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Mama twins, where you dey rush dey go? I wan rush go meet that woman where they say they borrow people money now. That is last year they pursue and hustle this money they come.
That's what I make you the rock kitty kitty.
You not reach my sister.
Make you follow who no road.
Come now.
Rumi people
Even for Better Livelihood Center, they give people money to do business without stress. Then get over 1,000 awoof prizes to give out this year, like 82 deep freezer, 58 5 kVA generator, 58 big double door fridge, 82 small double door fridge, 106 3 kVA generator, 480 150 liters coolers, and more. This awoof now for grooming members where you don't borrow money up to 3 times or more. Raffle draw go shell live and direct on the 21st of June 2025. You go use your koro I see what they happen because we not talking a do. The venue na multipurpose hall number 1 at Debayo Oyelano Street by Nepa bus stop beside Ejigbo Mini Stadium, Ejigbo Isolo, Lagos. Time na 9 a.m. Bomb. I don't work out. So where? Not follow the road.
Hey, rewards the Lander! When I buy airtime and data on any network,
I get up to 10% cash back.
I pay my NEPA, DSTV, or StarTimes and call
3% cash back.
Now so, Smart Cash back don't get reloaded.
And they load my wallet.
Hey, it's the Smart Cash back reloaded. Top up airtime or data on any network and get up to 10% cash back, or pay your electricity or cable TV bill and get 3% cash back sharply. Only on Smart Cash. No door yourself. Download the Smart Cash app or dial *939# to start today. Terms and conditions dey shall.
Guy, I don't cash out from Bet King Casino. Send your ass and make I run you something.
Boss, let's your boy too now.
I beg you, my oga, make it no pass me.
Ogala, make it toss me too.
Oh yeah, make una send the other. But you say fit become Odogu with 2,500 times multiplier for Bet King Casino games. The power to win bigger is in your hands. Download the Bet King app and register today using the promo code FREEBETS to enjoy 100 Naira instant bonus and other exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemether and lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Charlatan is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
No be party jollof this same.
I beg, make nothing hungry you again today.
I am pregnant where every day follow talk so.
Neighbor, I beg,
neighbor, just one spoon.
No wahala.
Chef, what be your secret?
Now, Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder. Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder gets spicy stew, goat meat, fried rice, and roasted beef from great aroma to great taste.
Elevate every meal with Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder. Chef.
What can your bank do for you? Meet Jane, 25 years old. She's been having troubles acquiring a loan from her bank.
This is not okay at all. I've been on this queue forever, and you're saying I should fill another form. What's going on?
What can your bank do for you? Meet Frank, 27 years old, held up in traffic and making fruitless transactions.
Mama, I have saved the airtime, even the electricity charges. I don't know why it's so difficult making this payment.
Introducing Safri, a lifestyle digital bank that's designed just for you. With one click, you can make easy and fast payment transactions, pay bills, and even acquire easy loans. Hurry and download the Safri app on your Play Store. Visit safrisafri.com for more information. Safri, borderless banking.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. Pocari Sweat. My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. Pocari Sweat. It go rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easily observed. Pocari Sweat. Give it some more. Pocari Sweat.
Hard Facts.
Welcome back, Lagos, Nigeria. Still the Hard Facts. Let's bring David in. Once David is done with the business, then we'll come back to Captain Blade. David?
Yeah, man. You can close the door now. If you live around Victoria Island, Lekki, Agungi, Chevron, Eleganza, VGC, Aja, Abraham Adesonya Estates, Shongo Tedu, Abijo, Awuyaya, Olakwe, then the place for you to go and get your affordable eggs in crates is the Fresh Eggs Market. Yes, the Fresh Eggs Market is selling at 4,700 naira per crate. That is eggs at 4,700 naira per crate. We are located at Spring Valley Estate, close to Sunbeth Fueling Station, Lekki Ekpe Expressway, Lagos. You can call or WhatsApp the number 0916 000 7184. That is 0916 000 7184. Hurry now and go there to buy for resale or for your home and business for that matter at 4,700 naira per crate. You heard me? 4,700 naira per crate.
Thank you, David. Lagos, let's move on with our conversation. Captain Blade is joining me virtually this evening, and we're looking at the massacre in Benue. Captain Blade, thank you again for joining the show. Now, let me ask this question again. As to what value do you think the government, with the killings in Benue, for instance, because we're discussing Benue, right? There are other killings elsewhere in many parts of Nigeria, especially the northwest, the north central, and the northeast. Would you say that there's a value, a premium placed on a Nigerian life by the government?
Thank you, Sherry. To answer that question, let's triangulate situations. When I say triangulate now, I simply mean let's try to join 3 points and see if they form a triangle.
Okay.
Triangulation here will involve what is said. Okay, the first is what is said by our government, what is seen by people on ground, and then what is felt. Okay? If the 3 can align, then we form a trinity of sorts, and triangulation is complete. So here's the thing. When people are killed in any of the different ways they happen to be killed, even en masse, we see our governments condemning it in strong terms. High-powered delegations or visits even occur. And what is seen on ground by the victims is these visits become a ritual or they become liturgical. And once they've been done with, you look forward to or await the next killing. And despite these visits, the people do not feel any safer. So there is no triangulation whatsoever. So here's the thing. The Nigerian people, in all honesty, to our public office holders and our law enforcement officers, have become inane to the situation at hand. So life itself and its sanctity has lost on those grounds. It's like putting a frog in a pot. You fill it with water and then you heat it gradually. The frog is dying, but because it's being gradually heated, it doesn't know. Today, death doesn't mean much or anything to the average Nigerian because he's virtually inane, or let me say, he's now used to it. He has adapted to it. That's where we are. The sad reality being, we don't know who is going to be next. It could be me, it could be anyone. I can assure you that despite my background and training, I still do not forget the fact that I survived by today on pure grace, not my wits anymore. So that's where it is, if I have answered your question.
If yes, of course, certainly. If I may also add, either your own explanation of what is possibly going on in Benue, or the other analyst's explanation of what is likely going on. What do you think we're witnessing? I mean, based on your expertise, do you think we are witnessing ethnic cleansing, or you think, like government officials will put it, it's communal conflict, or it's farmer headers conflict, or it's a genocide? Because there is something that I learned about, covering conflicts over time. If there is no proper definition of what is happening, there is usually a misrepresentation of the event that is unfolding. So let's begin from the nomenclature. Let's begin from the name. What is actually happening by your own definition?
Thanks, Sheriff. Exactly as it was put in Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's deliberately meant to ensure, as you said, that the victim does not have a proper definition of what is happening. And as such, he cannot even contain it. He cannot even define it. And all the other names you call it, skirmishes, what, genocide, you mention it, are just what you can call pseudonyms for the exact thing that is happening. Now, here's the thing. Right from time immemorial, there's been a deliberate attempt to make control of people, of population, whichever way you look at it, is better and smarter. I challenge my colleagues within the intelligence community to go look for things like let me look for the names here. Project Moonstruck. Project Moonstruck was CIA, 1952. What was it about? What about Project Ultra? Project Ultra, aka Blue Bear, was in 1953. And Project Orion, also known as Project Dreamland. What was Dreamland about? What does it seek to achieve in 1958? And we can come back to even closer to 1989, and we're talking about Project Trident. If you go and read up these projects and see the capabilities of these projects and what they achieve, or is it Project Gateway, you will understand where I am coming from. People control can be achieved in so many ways. Now look at it this way. There are people who will achieve control through enemies. Let's go out of this country and talk about ISIS, Islamic State in the Levant. How did they come about? Who trained them to do what until they turned renegade? What about Osama bin Laden? As in, we're talking about, what's the name of Osama bin Laden's group now? Who trained them to do what? And then they turned renegade suddenly. Exactly, Al-Qaeda. So here is the thing. When people want to achieve certain goals, they are going to look for all the miscreants and the undesirables within your locality or the locality of choice and equip them to do what they have to do that will bring about the achievement of the end goal. Until our leaders begin to look at it from that perspective, we're going to continue missing the point and dropping the ball. We're not here to indict anyone, but we're here to say, despite what you are doing, look at it. Take that road less traveled and see where it leads you, as opposed to just shutting it down and saying, no, there is nothing there. And then you seem to be achieving less the more you try. That road less traveled, let's take a look at it.
Captain Blade, I'm going to come back to you because I want to know if there is something short-term, long-term that can be done to bring about long-term peace in Benue in particular. Some other time we'll discuss, I think we've discussed security at large, before, but the focus of this evening conversation is Benue. I want to talk about what you think that can be done on the short term, on the long term, to bring about long-term peace in Benue. But in the meantime, let's bring Lagos into this conversation. It's 5:43. It's Big Hard Facts. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Captain Blade is joining me virtually, and we can have a conversation right here, right now. 0201 2770 993. That is 0201 2770 993. You can also send messages to our WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. That number is just for messages and messages only. And please, when you're calling, go straight to the point. If you've got a question for Captain Blade, if you've got a contribution, go straight to the point as well. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Sheriff.
Good
Jonathan
evening.
for your name.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Now, this is my commentary. To due respect to the guest, I think if you put condemn in short terms into context, what is the definition for that? Sorry, sir. There is no strong condemnation for this leadership. If you check what we mean by strong condemnation, there is no strong condemnation. I've never seen any governor that gets on the stage and starts speaking fire. I have never even seen the president sit on the stage and spit fire. I have never seen the president take an hard decision. So there is not even strong condemnation.
I have seen Governor Samuel Otom, when he was governor.
Exactly, Sheriff, you are correct. In this dispensation, there is none. I tried to be correct. Thank God you brought. In this dispensation, there is none. Enjoy your evening, Sheriff.
You too, Jonathan. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Let's take another call quickly. Good evening to you.
Hello, Sheriff.
Yes, please. Good evening. Welcome, Manu.
Yeah, Marco. I just want to ask your guest, can you presentable set up the Ministry of Livestock Development and also appointed Jekan as advisor? If he had planned maybe to set up those things and implemented those plans and now separate the issue of headsmen and farmer clash, that factor, he was able to diffuse it, will it whatever the white people will do, whatever the CIA will do, will it help? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Captain, did you get the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right.
Before I answer your question, the CIA is not specifically our problem. My mention of these things are just examples of what has transpired that could possibly give us an inkling of what is transpiring. And when it comes to Ministry of Livestock Development, it's not about a Ministry of Livestock Development. It's about engaging with the threat form, whichever way it comes, and ensuring that you clear its doubts that it can do what it will and go scot-free. It's impossible, absolutely impossible on 2025 Earth. I know what I'm saying, given the solutions I have offered. For anyone to come out from anywhere on this planet, go do something, wipe out 200 people, have the time to roast them, have the time to destroy the village, enough time for you to fly from Murtala Mohammed to London Heathrow, and then just disappear into thin air. It ain't possible. So what exactly is happening and why it is happening? The likely indicators that could answer the questions are what I am saying on this program, with inference to capabilities and abilities that were achieved for people control, for population control as far back as 1952 by sister or foreign or colleague intelligence agencies. So the joke is on our own intelligence agencies and our own top brass to actually wake up and understand that these are silent weapons for waging a wide war.
Captain Blade, let's take a sneak peek into how the mind of Nigeria's leadership is working. The president tweeted and said in his tweets, part of his tweet says something in this direction that the governor of the state should call all warring parties together for reconciliation and all of that. To me, that the mindset of the leadership is that this is a local problem. What you're smiling, Captain Blade? How do you view this?
Well, I think if it is about calling warring parties together to shed their swords, I've lost count of how many times that happened. I have seen where a sitting chief of defense staff called for a ceasefire. That was the late Air Marshal Alex Sabundu Badi. And while the ceasefire was ongoing, these same people decided to renege on the ceasefire. In fact, the ceasefire was a trick against our people. We're not dealing with people who want to ceasefire. We're not dealing with people who want to share.
Sorry to butt in, Captain Blaze. What does that now? What does that then say about the understanding of the crisis by the government?
I think they are just what you call passing the buck. The federal government pushes it to the state government pushes it back at the federal government. But one thing remains clear. These people won't stop until you meet them with equal or more madness. I once said it in the studio that when you call them to the negotiation table, they see it as a sign of weakness. Even within their ranks, these people wield control, their brute force and fear. Their leaders are thoroughly ruthless so that the members of their whatever they call themselves respect them. So they don't see dialogue, radicalization, negotiation, and all those things. They don't see it as mature. They see it as weakness. In their world, there is no dialogue. There is no negotiation. There is only ruthless brute force. Albert Einstein said something. You don't solve a problem at a lower or at the same level with the problem. You take it higher. If these people have decided to be mindless, we have to give them superior mindlessness before they now call them to the negotiation table. Until we put the fear of ourselves in them, we will have no reckoning from them whatsoever.
Captain Blade, incidentally, you've answered my question. The last question I said I was going to ask you of how to bring lasting peace. If you'd like to add one or two things to that, I mean, it's the mic is yours for another 1 minute. Apart from matching their energy and even surpassing their own energy in terms of force and ruthlessness, how else can we bring long-lasting peace to Benue?
Long-lasting peace to Benue can be achieved when the governor of Benue State and his handlers come to terms with what is happening in Benue State. It's not about negotiation, it's not about dialogue, it's not about seeking what they call a political solution problem. No, it's about locking horns and breaking horns. And if we continue to run away from this very, very obvious fact, we'll never get anywhere. Example, case in focus. What has Amotekun been able to achieve in Western Nigeria? They may not have given us 100% peace, but then at least they've gotten better at securing the region. So until the sons and daughters of Benue State stand up and make that statement, I trust one day there may not be any people from Benue State left to answer being Benue State indigenous.
Retired.
We don't get to.
Retired Captain Babangida Aliyu, Captain Blade, thank you so much for joining us on Hard Facts today. It's been a wonderful session.
The pleasure is mine. You have a nice day.
Have a good evening, sir. Thank you. On a final note, I just want to implore Nigerians to not get used to, let's not be numb to people losing their lives. Let's put pressure on the government to do the needful, right? Because whatever it is that is happening in Benue, we're not immune to it ourselves. Yeah, we must be our brother's keeper. Even if you're not there, you have to say something. You must say something about what is happening. Hey, David, do you have... Okay, good. So it means that we're good to go. Lagos, that's our show. Thank you all for being a part of Hard Facts for the past 15 days. Tomorrow, Maryann Okon returns on Hard Facts. It's been great hanging out with everybody. It's been amazing discussing Nigeria's biggest of the biggest stories. It's been awesome interacting with all of you. In the meantime, you can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, that's X at Sheriff Quadry. On Facebook, it's Sheriff Quadry. On TikTok, it's Sheriff Quadry. And on Instagram, it's Quadry Sheriff. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good evening.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.